Welcome back. Now, can political memoirs provide real historical insight, or are they too often used to justify dubious political decisions? Well, this week, Tony Blair's chief spin doctor, close friend and political aide Alastair Campbell published his account of 10 years at the UK Prime Minister's side and admitted that he left out controversial sections of the diaries to avoid giving comfort to political rivals. But does that mean the memoirs called The Blair Years and their account of the war in Iraq are not to be trusted? The Listening Post's Salah Khadr's been hearing from other political diarists, including one of Saddam Hussein's biographers, about how faithful to reality political insiders' memoirs can or should really be.
In Britain this week, the publication of Alastair Campbell, Tony Blair's spin doctor's diaries have been flying off the shelves. Booksellers are saying that the Blair years may even be reviving their faith in the political biography. And for those who didn't actually want to read the book, the BBC came out with a 3-part TV series.
Tony called as I was driving down to France to discuss Iraq, and we agreed that we should start to push out some of the Saddam material. While sales are up, not everyone is convinced of the diary's worth, like politician turned writer, ex-deputy leader of the Labour Party, Roy Hattersley.
I can't imagine what he thinks he's going to achieve by publishing them, except earning a great deal of money. Why a man in his position should want to do so much damage to himself by more or less writing down, I am a very unpleasant man and behave very unpleasantly towards everybody. Why anybody should want to do that bewilders me, but that's a certain outcome. He has lost a great deal of admiration and esteem simply by publishing the diaries.
Love him or hate him, Campbell's memoirs raise big questions about the writing of history and how far insider diaries are to be taken as read. In August 2003, Campbell was forced to resign his post after scandal hit the Labour Party. It began with a story from BBC reporter Andrew Gilligan, accusing the Blair government of sexing up an intelligence dossier about Iraq's weapons of mass destruction.
And I asked, so how did this transformation happen? And the answer was a single word, which was Campbell.
Till the BBC acknowledge that is a lie, I will keep banging on. That correspondence file will get thicker, and they better issue an apology pretty quick.
Campbell and Blair gave evidence in the Hutton inquiry and were exonerated. Campbell's unpublished diary even became evidence.
What I'd written in there, or so I felt, had the capacity to deliver vindication or destruction. One bad word, and who knows, for me, for Tony, for the whole bloody government.
As you'd expect, there are no surprise admissions in the diary.
To me,
Barry Hell.
yes, with best regards, best wishes.
Publishing diaries, soon after the event, always results in the truth being obscured.
Right. Okay.
Somebody just writing what was in their mind and in their heart, and that's what you want. You don't want people to say, how is this going to look when they write about it in the Times? You don't want this to say, are they going to sell a lot of copy in Waterstones? You want diaries in which people just say, it's a burbling out of me, this is bubbling away inside me, I'm going to put it down on paper.
What if Saddam Hussein had written a memoir? There have been several biographies. Saeed Abu Rish's stands out for its frank approach. A Palestinian, educated in the Middle East and the US, Abu Rish now lives in Nice on the French Riviera. As well as writing on Saddam, he has written biographies on Egyptian leader Nasser, Palestinian Arafat, and the Saudi royal family.
If you write somebody's biography, they expect you to be adoring. You know, they expect you to be full of praise. That's the way the Egyptian biographer and the Lebanese biographer wrote of Saddam. I'm not capable of that. And if capable, I wouldn't do it.
But he was close enough to Saddam Hussein to capture some very personal details.
I found Saddam to be a shy person. That is not the kind of word that we associate with the image we have for him in the West. He avoided all eye contact completely, which was disconcerting. when you're sort of waiting to see whether he approved or disapproved of what you were saying.
Not only was he shy, but those who got to meet him in his inner sanctum were struck by his other peculiarities.
There are two things in that room. Books, masses and masses of books about the life of Stalin, and beautifully handmade shoes.
Abu Rish came to know Saddam while working and living in Iraq in the 70s and 80s as a business consultant to his government. It was then that he found out Saddam was using chemical weapons. Abu Rish quit and went to tell the world, but no one listened. 20 years later, he looked on in horror when the West invaded Iraq.
It felt as if the world had gone mad for a very simple reason. When I went against him, walked out, went into disclosure, told the world about that, yes, he possessed unconventional weapons, chemical weapons in particular. Yes, he used them. The United States of America, and I hold an American passport, did everything except take my passport away from me. And when the time came, suddenly they acquired self-righteousness, and they're going to invade a country when there was no need to do it anymore. The time had passed.
With no one to listen, where does that leave biography? Or will politicians write their own histories?
I do not believe that the final judgment on them and what they did should be left to them. And yes, the historian has a place. It should be seen in historical context.
Salah Khadr reporting. And here's how our global village voices see that story.
The media, even today, can't make room for every story about every politician. Readers think that if they read political diaries, they're going to find more information about the politicians that interest them than there is room for in the traditional media. And I think that's the reason why political diaries are so popular. It gives readers more information and more inside stories on the various politicians that have been in the news over the past however many years.
In the case of the Alastair Campbell diaries, I'm not sure that he does actually want to tell the public anything that he hasn't told them before. My suspicion is that, given his opinion of Tony Blair and his relationship with him, he has wanted to produce, in fact, a hagiography of Tony Blair. And it's apparent behind-the-scenes unguardedness, moments of swearing and apparent honesty are attached as badges of authenticity to a document which remains ultimately a very slanted perspective.
And finally, you know how much we like to keep up with the latest tastes in new technology here at the Listening Post, but here's something we didn't expect to see on the menu. The ingredients come from the makers of the iPod and now the iPhone. Yes, guess who? I suppose you could call it the iSmoothie. Enjoy our internet video of the week and see you next time, only at the Listening Post.
Will it blend? That is the question. I love my new iPhone. It does everything. But will it blend? That is the question. Let's find out. I think I'm going to push the smoothie button. I smoke. Don't breathe this. Now, you fans on YouTube have asked me to blend an iPhone, so I did it. But I have another. I'm going to put this on eBay.